Yeah.
Wow, that was a weak start.
No, dude. I was digging it. I'm still digging it.
Yeah, you got to see his intensity on the video. He's like lip syncing hard.
No, that's me singing.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Just crank it up one more time. No, people don't ever get enough of this. All right. I will say that this is the Yeah Come On show with myself, Southside Steve, along with Brett Barney, my co-host, and the always on air, sometimes off air, lately, Tyler Maynard.
Hey.
And, of course, we have a special guest that we will get to here in just a second. We want to thank Oxygen Financial, our proud sponsor right now. We are looking to bring on other proud sponsors, but right now, Oxygen Financial is where we're located, their location here in Alpharetta. And Ted Jenkins is your man. If you're looking to invest some money, you want to save some money, whether you got a penny or $2 million, call Oxygen Financial. You can get a hold of them at oxygenfinancial.net.
Wait, I have a penny. I thought I couldn't afford it.
Actually, you couldn't, because I think he's going to want a percentage of that penny to represent you, but he's going to make you a lot of money. So let's scratch the penny thing. If you have at least $3,000 or $2 million.
You know, he did pull me off to the side and tell me there is no minimum to open an account with him.
There isn't. You could actually do it on a I don't know, $100 if you want to be that guy. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because it's gonna just make you money over 30 years, Brett. You might as well just put in a hundy and see what it turns into. You know.
Compound.
It's going to compound, and then Ted will come
we
to
just
you.
turn into Hard Knocks?
Yeah, it is. And then Ted will come to you and go, hey, look, man, I got a feeling about the marijuana. Let's put the money there. Or he may come to you and go, hey, there's a new pill out. Or he may say, hey, crops. You know, the money's in corn again. I don't know. But what I do know is it's time for a little housekeeping before we introduce our guest. As always, we want to thank everybody. We're starting to get a lot of subscribers. It means more than you know. Again, at one point in time, or at some point in time, we're going to charge for this crap. So be glad you're in for free, because others are going to have to pay. Damn right. We got to make money.
Yeah, and if you're fine folks at Woodford, will step up.
Yeah, I just want to say, and this isn't negative because we love you, I am tonight drinking Woodford Reserve. This is Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is my favorite. This is old school, from the family of Jack Daniels, which I love to drink. And cheers to you, mate. And we'll cheers our guest in a minute. Here's to Woodford. We're looking for you to be a proud sponsor.
Yeah.
Anytime you want.
If they can't do it, I've got our backup.
What's your backup?
Tito's.
Man, Woodford, call. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. I don't like the white liquor. I don't trust white liquor. I like dark liquor. I can trust that crap.
All right.
I like it dark. Talk to me, baby. This is where you're going to go ahead and tell us what social media has brought us comments about our fine program, the Yeah Come On Show.
As we always say, Steve doesn't read these. Everybody's giving us love. I was really hoping that we'd get some really good, sarcastic reviews of the show. As we always say, subscribe, rate, review.
Why do you nobody made fun of us for having wings on our face or anything?
No, but we'll start out with my man, my brother, Franklin the Mailman, Southside. Come on. Those wings aren't that bad.
Oh, dude. But here's the thing. I'll go ahead and tell you, it's all relative, right? I don't do heat at all. I grew up in a home where there was no heat on the food. I've never had the hot sauce. I didn't do the red hots as a kid, so I have zero tolerance to heat. So what is nothing to most people is a lot to me. I've had barbecue chips burn me. So what we had,
oh my God.
I'm just being honest, man. You know what? I don't eat fire. I'm sorry. But
Barbecue chips.
Barbecue chips.
Sorry.
Oh, that just hit you, Maynard?
Oh, God.
Pay attention, Maynard.
I'm doing things. I'm technical stuff.
If it's the Ruffles, I could see it. They dig in a little deeper.
Yeah.
They even get a little cut in the mouth.
All I'm saying,
ridges.
So for me, what you did, I will tell you the next morning on the radio.
You're hurting?
Well, Bailey and Southside, my partner Bailey, who's just too cool for school. Not just kidding, bro. He looks over at me and goes, "You look rough." He goes, "What the?" I mean, it was
You
mean.
only ate 2.
He said, "You look puffy." He goes, "Are you okay? Seriously, are you okay?" Because that night, I didn't realize that when it came out your butt, it burned. So my butt burned. Literally, I sent you a picture of me on the toilet.
I thought about posting it, but I didn't know if you'd get mad at me.
I don't care. No, you can post it.
It was just his underwear around his ankles.
I don't care. You post that. You post anything
Okay,
I
I'm going
send
to
you.
post it.
Anything I send you, you can post. But I will shit myself for this show. And I did. I did do that. But no, and I'm just ragging Bailey because you ragged me. But yeah, man, the dude's like, "What's so wrong?" And he didn't realize I had been eating hot wings and that I was puffy from it. So it was really rough. I don't ever want to do that again.
Okay, well, that'll
So
get
there.
me to at WNY Yankee wrote, "It's like a poor man's hot ones," which I thought about this. I had to look this up because one of our listeners texted me and said, "How hot are the actual blazing wings that we ate from Buffalo Wild Wings?"
Hey, Maynard,
Yeah, what are they on that scale? Did
The
you look it
Scoville?
up?
I
can
did look it up.
Okay.
I've got
they
it
were
right
hot.
here.
They were hot.
So this is according to Business Insider. You guys know the Scoville scale. A jalapeno is somewhere between like 7,000 to 10,000, depending on the jalapeno. Habanero is like 40,000. This is Business Insider, October 14th, 2018. The Blazin sauce is Buffalo Wild Wings' hottest sauce. It's made of ghost peppers. It measures up to 350,000 units on the Scoville scale.
Ah!
350,000
Damn, I didn't think they were
is what
was
we
that
ate.
hot.
And
Jeez.
you gave that to me. You're trying to kill a brother. Damn, dude, that is way off. I mean, why not just have a regular hot wing from Best Wings or something, some normal place? Instead, you brought in acid. It's like,
Yeah, it
hi,
seriously
Steve.
was.
These wings have got battery acid on them. Eat up. Enjoy this. Hi, they've been dipped in lava. You know what? I hear I got a great plastic surgeon to get you new lips. Don't worry about it. This is a great show.
ATLian wrote in, "This is the best thing coming from Atlanta in a long time. Too much love."
Hey, you know what? And tell 5 people. Really? I mean, seriously, let's
Spread the word.
grow it.
I love the guy that saw the picture of us downstairs holding the wings and said, "That's an odd looking child in the middle."
Yeah, that's pretty.
Maynard.
I knew you were talking about me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Brett even talks about you. You look young. You're cute, man. You're
I
just,
appreciate it.
You're like an itty bitty little hairy boy. You're like a little boy with hair. You're like a 12-year-old that can grow a beard. That's nice.
And finally, Ashley Nicholson wrote, "That was awesome. Who needs a guest? Brett is a beast on those wings."
You are, and I will
Thank
tell you
you.
that Brett had sweat right here
Massive
on,
sweat.
on his cheeks. Do you have any? Do you have any
look at him. He
kick-ass
puts-
music for this? What was that?
That was you commenting on Brett's wing eating.
Oh, look at him. He puts the whole thing in his mouth. That sounded.
The at the beginning is quite suspect.
Well, all right, here's the deal. That's what I sound like gay. I don't think I've ever been gay, but if I had, that's what I'd sound like.
You probably
I'd be a nasty gay man. I'd be like, "What's in your pants?" Because I need it. I'd be just nasty.
Just be harassing.
Sorry. I just.
Time for me to leave.
All right, no.
Our guest has already gone
I'm
before.
out of here.
Our guest is a proud American. He's no homophobe, but he is uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable with gay talk.
He's uncomfortable with gay talk. You know what?
Come on, you worked with me for a while.
Yeah. Let's,
on there.
let's find out.
Yes, come on now.
Yes. Let's find out who's behind chair number 3. Got any kick-ass music you just want me to roll?
Oh,
What do you got?
do we
Anything
got?
strong? Got some rock? Got some.
I probably should have sent you a song on this. I thought
yeah.
about
We
it.
need. Usually it's guest request or Brett's.
God bless America. Got something totally
Why,
American.
you wanna-
I don't know.
You got that Josie's on a vacation.
Vacation far away.
Little Nas X.
Yeah.
Old
Jesus.
Town Road. Old Town Road.
Old Town
That's we're guaranteed to get pulled off YouTube if I play that one.
Yeah.
That's way too popular.
If you can't pull anything, I'll just start reading. But I
No,
know we
it's
put you on
going.
the spot. You give me a little song.
Just gonna get some good funk going here.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Oh, I can hear it. It's
You'll
warming
never
up.
go bad with funk. Bam, 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 bam.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Today, we have a New Yorker in our studio who ended up in Dixie. He spent years as a traveling salesman listening to talk radio. Now, he never wanted to be on the air, but got so fed up with what he was hearing from all the liberals, he became a regular caller. He caught a PD's ear, and the next thing you know, he had his own show. That's brilliant right there. Since then, he's been a morning show host on former Talk 106.7. He's personal friends with Governor Brian Kemp. That's right, he helps him load his weapons to shoot the boyfriends. He's been summoned to the Oval Office by President Donald Trump to discuss the crisis at the border. That's cool. You can now catch him when the powers that be allow him to be on WSB. We're rhyming because we're grooving. the host of the Shelley Wynter Show. Well, it is Shelley Wynter on the Yeah Come On Show.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Dude, it is good to have you in the studio. It is good to see you again.
Good to see you. You were one of the few people who welcomed me when I first showed up over there at Cumulus, and I always wanted to tell you thank you so much for your support.
Well, you know what? You got it. And there's some kind of crazy rumor that I'm kind of like the ambassador at Cumulus. But I love, man, and I feel like we're all in it again, together, and we're walking the halls, and you got 4 or 5 radio stations. Everybody's trying to get theirs. Technically, we're even competing against each other.
Right.
But I got mad respect for anybody who gets behind a microphone, especially doing what you're doing. I play a little bit of role. I get to be Steve here and there, and I get to be shallow, which I enjoy in my character. Which
I don't know if that's much of a character.
Shut up. Really? Shut up. But a part of me, Southside Steve rocks. But you got it all hanging out. You are Shelley Wynter. You actually put your views completely on the table, and anybody that listens to you knows exactly how you think.
Well, I appreciate that.
And there's
Get up on that microphone.
No, but there's guts in that. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you. You're right, and you're absolutely right. There is. I never thought of it like that, but you're absolutely right. When you put your whole heart on the front of. Like you said earlier, I think you said something. You'll take a shit for this podcast.
I will.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same thing. Just letting your heart go, letting your brain go, and people know exactly where you stand. And if you don't stand there in the same place the very next day, you kind of called out on that. So
You are. And there's times where I come home and somebody will be fierce on me. I mean, I actually. And this is true. On social media, I was talking about taking an aerial view of my vehicle, how I parked in the parking lot. Well, I purposely misspelled aerial. My wife's like, "Why are you doing that?" I go, "Because it's funny. Because I'm going to catch hell, and because that's definitely something Southside Steve would do." Now, don't get me wrong.
Wait, how'd you spell it?
I spelled it
Areola?
A-U.
Oh, that's
No,
A-U? That's what I was like. I'm going to get an areola view. I'm Southside Steve.
Right.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. I spelled it A-U-R-A-L. Aerial.
That's not too bad.
No.
I mean, that's not too bad.
That catches the comments, though. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that
genius.
does. That does.
But you know what? And some people
Which
try,
is ridiculous that
It
people
is.
care so much about that.
They do. And here's what you never try to do. And I don't know where your head is on that. And that'd be a question for you, Shelley. Do you try, or do you think you're the smartest guy in the room? I never. No. I mean, that's a fun. Good question. I have never thought that. I think people that think that, I'm like, really? Okay, because there's always somebody smarter. But is there somebody more fun to be around, or somebody that you're entertained by? I think that is a vehicle. I'll try
Depends
to
on the
sit
room.
in.
I will tell you, it depends on the room.
So
there
you-
are some rooms where I've gone into and I've definitely not the smartest person in that room. And there are some rooms I've gone into and I looked around and talked to people and said, "Oh my God, there are a bunch of idiots in this room." And so it depends on what room you're in.
Yeah, I think I'm 4th smartest in this room. I mean, you graduated from Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean,
So he's
Relative.
got to be 4th.
he's got to be 4th. He's definitely 3rd. Tyler, I mean, he can do things I can't do over
But
there.
you got to have a room bigger than just 4 people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Shelley's a
room with-
Syracuse guy, so
so it's got to be a room full of more people.
Syracuse man. So what brought you from New York to Dixie? Let's talk about that. How did I understand in your intro how you got on the air? You were probably a very entertaining caller. We get entertaining callers. You try to keep those kind of people around, people that just throw it out there. And obviously you caught the ear of someone, and next thing you know, you are doing radio. And is that what brought you to the South?
No. Actually, I worked for Fox Television Sales in ad sales, and they sent me down here to help out. When it was time to go back to New York, I fell in love with Atlanta, and that's why I just said I resigned from the job, stayed, got another job, and just stayed here. If you'd have asked me. If you'd have told me 30 years ago or whatever, 25 years ago, I'd be living in Atlanta, I would told you, why would I move to the South? I mean, that's ridiculous. Why would I move from New York to the South? But once coming down here, I fell in love with the city, and I just stayed. When it was time to go back, I just stayed. It's a wonderful city.
What about the city?
The women, really, that's what got me. The women.
Oh, really, Southside?
Yeah, the women.
I did
Honest
my-
to God, it was
Yeah.
the women. It was a woman everywhere, every shape, every size. I mean, you had cursing women, you had church-going women, you had fat women. Just women. They were everywhere, and differently than in New York, because in New York everyone was kind of hustling, But down here, there was a slowness, and I don't mean that in a negative sense,
No.
but just a slow pace, a slower pace. And you were able to meet people. You're actually able to meet a girl, and you're able to go out and have a good time. And it just seemed like if you had a job and you had benefits, you were in.
Yeah, you know what? You're exactly right. And I hope that we don't lose that because a lot of people, complain or joke about the slowness of it. And then next thing you know, we've got more and more Northerners moving in here.
Right.
And I say...
And it changes the culture.
It does change the culture. If I moved to New York instantly, and I would be an Atlantan that could. I like to drive fast. I like to honk my horn. I like to get things done. So I could probably handle New York better than most.
Have you been to New York?
Yeah.
You don't really drive much when you're in
No.
New York.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you mean.
You can
Aggressively.
ride fast.
You could drive aggressively.
Yes.
You can
drive
ride aggressively.
Yeah, but you
I
can.
mean-
All right, well, not everybody's living downtown in New York. Yes, if I lived off 30 anything street, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not having a car.
Right.
I'm not going to park it on the side of the road. I'm not going to be a snow mound, nor am I going to get dented up and pay God knows what for parking. But I'm talking about people that live an hour out. Maybe people that are taking the train out. They still have an intensity and they don't mind honking the horn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you drove into New York, not saying you live downtown. You get it?
Yeah, I get it.
I just hate it when people. I mean, damn it. I had something there. You jet.
You think you could be a New Yorker?
I do. I think I could do it.
I think you're snarky enough to be a
Yeah.
New Yorker. You are. Brett Barney can definitely be a New Yorker.
Well,
He
he
grew up going there
yeah,
all the
you're
time.
right. No,
in
Brett
Manhattan.
Brett would be right at home in New York.
Well, Brett is what we call an intense Southern splash of redneck. I mean, Brett likes confrontation.
Right.
He hates it that people don't hate on us. He loves to ask his little questions, and you got questions coming. There's nothing I can do to save you, Shelley. That's
Right.
his co-host role. But he's going to try to get under your skin. He loves to do it.
Dude, he's heard it forever. I mean,
Forever. Yeah.
he wanted to turn the show to the Shelley Wynter and Brett Barney show. I was like, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I wanted to do that immediately. I wanted Brett in the studio with me from probably the second or third week of me. I was still trying out when I asked for Brett to be in the studio.
Okay,
with me.
well let's go there because I'm not totally aware of that. I got to know Brett basically by putting him on the show. I asked around about him. I knew he was a solid guy. He was always friendly in the hallway. I saw that he wore, the pull-on boots and
And they fell apart. You remember that?
The same pair for every day.
Every
Whether it was
day.
90 degrees or snowing out, the
Yeah.
same boots.
So he had his good old boy dipping boots, and he drove a black Camaro with stripes. So I'm like, all right. And I knew we voted the same, so I said I'll get to know him. But when 106.7 came on the air, I worked on that station in 2007 when it was country. It was called Eagle 106.7. I did mornings for a year with Rhubarb in Dallas, and then I started with rock. And then when we purchased the company, Cumulus did. They decided to turn it into a news station. So we saw different people come in there in that spot, and then you came in. And I would love to know how that all happened, how long ago, a little history, and what Brett did for you. I'd love to hear some of that.
Oh man, it was awesome. When they were news and they brought they had Kimmer on in the afternoons, and they wanted what became Shannon's slot 9 to 12. They had tryouts for. And Greg Tantum was the program director then, and so a friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, 106.7, he listened every day to Kimmer, and he said they're having a tryout. You should try out." And because he knew I used to do talk radio, I've been off the air for a while, and I called up Greg Tantum and I tried out. And but Shannon got the job, and Rodney Ho, who I knew from my previous days in radio, because I was on a black talk station, 1380 WAOK.
No white people could work there?
White people did work there with CBS Radio. They actually had more white people working there than black people. The black people were on air, just like a basketball team.
Gotcha.
The black people were the entertainment, and the ownership and management were all white.
I got it.
Right.
Here's the white guy hitting you. Here you go, sir. Right. Let me tell you what's going on, man.
Right.
Thank you very much.
What's interesting, urban radio was funny. A funny thing I heard one time about urban radio. Urban radio's voiceover guy, like the what do you call it? What's the word for the guy that does the voices? Like coming up next, and the imaging
yeah.
voice of urban radio is a white guy.
You're listening to Urban Radio for Black people.
That's a white guy that does that.
And it's a white dude.
It's one white dude that has all the urban stations across. I just think that's one of those funny
Now,
things.
you know what it is? You know that I'm white? Do you?
No.
And let me tell you, that white guy has probably got 3 testicles. Because that's the voice you need to do
right.
that.
So back to
That extra testosterone.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. You're like,
4.
hey, man, what's going on?
And it hangs all the way down to the knees.
Damn right.
But no. So
a weird
Shannon.
bathing suit.
So they were trying people out at the station, and from what I heard, our program director Tom Lee asked around the station, does anybody know anybody that can, because he wasn't really impressed with the other people that tried out. I didn't hear any of them, so I don't know them at all. And Shannon recommended that he talk to me, and so I met with Tom, and then I sent him an air check. Then I tried out January 31st, and I was there ever since trying out, and then they put me on.
So we had you for how long?
A year and a half, best year and a half of my life.
Oh,
absolutely,
dude.
the best year and a half of my life.
that
I met the
is-
President of the United States in the White House. I mean, I met Brian Kemp. I got a resolution from the state of Georgia for radio. I mean, in a year and a half, all that happened. I can only imagine if we were still there,
I
what
think
kind of things
we
could have
have
been doing.
we have you and Trump.
Look at that.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Look at
When you got
that.
called up to the Oval Office.
Yeah.
God, you look good.
And I told him that, you're really nervous when you walk in there. The only thing I said to him, I said, I remember when you were on the, you did an interlude on Method Man's album, and he looked at me and he said, "You remember that, huh?"
Yeah.
So that was our conversation.
That was your conversation?
That was our conversation at the Resolute desk. That's what our conversation.
Did you
was.
shake his hand?
I've absolutely, I did.
I would have hugged him. I got to hug Trump. I'd be like,
But that was an amazing time. But that's how I got on radio. And Brett and I met before I even tried out. We watched the State of the Union together, and he worked with me. And that night before I started to try out. I had the first tryout the next day, and Brett was there. And I love the kid. I mean, his energy. He lives for radio. He loves radio. He's talented in programming and ideas for what makes good radio and what makes bad radio.
Blazin Trivia.
And
no, he actually thinks outside the box.
He does.
And we realize there's a great day coming because I know he rides the fence on whether to like girls or boys, and I can't wait to see how it all ends.
Yeah.
up.
I had that feeling too. I've had that feeling for a while.
That day's come.
I know. I love you too. He's got a pretty brown butt. I have never seen it,
Oh
but I
my
know
God.
it.
Wait, are we talking about Shelley or me?
No, you. I know Shelley's got a brown butt, but he's had it his whole life. You lay
Right,
out.
yeah. And
I had to earn mine.
Yours is much bigger than mine. But I
gonna
think
eat
the
Brett's
world
butt.
of Brett. I really do. I think he's a great kid, and I say kid purposefully because he's younger than I am. But he's a good man, and I just always thought if he were in there with me sooner, we could have really blown up.
We went up a full share
Right?
in
Yeah.
3 weeks
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
A full share.
I will tell you that I loved what you guys were doing, and there's a lot of us that still miss it. For me, for sure.
And it was my fault that he wasn't in there with me.
Really?
Yeah, because my program director told me, essentially said to me, "It's your show, make your decisions." And I was just too much of a nice guy to say to one person, "Hey, I want to put this person here." I didn't, you know what I mean? I just didn't have that in my personality. I do now, though.
Yeah, because you
have
realize
to.
that it matters.
It does matter.
You
does
gotta,
matter.
and you're in a tough spot, because you become friends with people, but maybe they're not the right person to be on your show. Just like Brett was perfect for me. I didn't go with anybody that I've known for 15, 20 years in this business.
Right.
I didn't pluck out an old weekender that now is selling cars. I just
Right.
went, this is the dude. So I did what you didn't do, Shelley. I think you effed up.
Yeah, and that's why I'm unemployed now, collecting unemployment checks.
Well, this is for free too. So we're
No,
technically unemployed.
I got my gift.
So-
I noticed that I have the little bottles over here, and you guys have the big Woodford Reserves
And the Tito's.
and the
Those
Tito's
is
over
the
there.
largest.
But it's all right. It's all right. I got my little.
I really wish you'd remove Tito's.
My wino bottles.
Can we just take it away for right now?
No, because I'm drinking it.
I know, but damn it. Here's the good news. You brought him Tennessee whiskey. You got some Jack Daniels down there, so I'm digging the bourbon thing.
But just wait.
And then I got a splash college boy in here with his damn Tito's and Gatorade or whatever the F he's drinking.
That's Tito's and Mountain Dew. Shelley, I know you got one.
Oh,
there you go.
yeah,
There
baby.
you go. And I can add up to a liter after a while.
Damn right,
All
Shelley.
right, there we go. There's
There you go.
4.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Now, Shelley, did you?
Is that racist to give a black man mini bottles?
It is very much so. I didn't
just-
want to say
no,
anything.
I
Very
know.
much so. But I know it's from Brett, so it's okay.
What is he, a second-class citizen? you
I mean,
fucker?
Third class.
Why don't,
Jesus.
why don't you...
Minis are third class.
Guys, this is our equal opportunity show. Let's chill out here.
Oh, a nice title. Hi, welcome to our Equal Opportunity Show. Good God. Why don't you just hand him
How
a
do you
40?
feel to be the first brother on this show?
Am I really?
I'm about to make it even better. Shelley, here you go.
Oh, wow. A tall can of Miller? No, this is not
Let's
black.
get that- put
See,
that
this is
up
the
on
problem.
camera.
This is the problem. This is the problem with white people who try and be cool. Miller is not a black beer.
No, you drink
Miller
the bull,
is
baby.
no,
Malt liquor.
Yingling.
What?
Yingling.
No, you drink PBR.
Well, I drink PBR, but Yingling is the new black beer because Trump The owner of Yingling is a Trump supporter.
So
And
you-
I'm pushing Yingling.
So you won't
Yingling.
drink a beer that I bought you?
I'll drink this later on. Yeah, I'll take it with me.
You won't sip on it?
I'm not gonna turn down free beer.
Look, let me tell you, I'm gonna get home today, tonight, or whatever. I'm gonna watch me some Animal Kingdom and drink myself a 40.
A 40 of
In
what
my
though?
socks.
A 40 of what?
OE.
I guess
See that- see-
Paps or Yingling. I would have thought.
Paps doesn't make a 40 ounce. Come on, man. How white are you?
Did you know QT doesn't sell PBR single cans?
No.
They didn't even have 6-packs or 12.
QT doesn't sell only
They
thing
don't sell any PBR.
they don't. No,
Why?
QT does not sell singles, tall can singles of really anything but rot gut. They don't sell and Bud
Yeah.
Ice, I think, but they don't sell anything that's they sell.
Any no, but any.
they
I'm
sell
just
Bud
saying,
Ice, which is
singles.
garbage.
Mike's Hard Lemonade. I didn't feel like you liked the diddle,
No,
so I skipped that.
Miller. I mean, Miller's okay, but no one black really drinks Miller.
No,
I mean,
that's-
really. I mean, I don't think anybody white really drinks Miller. I mean,
I
Miller's
drink
like
Miller.
a
Brett, you
dead-
are not in touch with the black community.
Right. Brett's not, and I used to call Brett the blackest white guy. I knew.
No, that is false.
That's Matt Dorr.
Yeah, Matt Dorr is the black.
So we should ask
guy.
Matt Dorr if the Miller is
Well,
compatible.
I
I just don't. Miller's cool. I'll drink beer.
Got a little 24 ounce. It's a little mini beer.
Yeah, a little mini beer.
It didn't give him the 40, but I will tell you that
I've outgrown the 40 though. I'm too bougie for the 40 ounce.
damn right you are, and I see that because of the way you dress. You look
Yeah,
good.
I'm way too bougie for the 40 ounce.
bougie.
And if I do drink my 40 ounce, I'm drinking it with a straw.
Why?
I'm sipping it.
Reusable straw.
No, not a metal straw. That's crazy. That is a
the
crazy.
paper straw?
The metal straws, I can't use metal straws. They cling against my teeth. I hate
Yeah,
that.
I don't do metal either. Did you hear about the chick that was drinking through a metal straw, and I guess somebody hit the brakes or something in the car, and it I think that's how it happened. But the straw went through her eye and all the way through her brain and out the back of her head. Oh, she died. Let me say.
I heard that story, but I didn't know it was really true.
It's really
It's
true.
true.
So those metal straws will get you, man. And I had a talk with my wife actually tonight because she's got one of those little bougie Bubba cups or whatever, and it's got
Right.
kind of a cool straw. And I'm like, I don't really want you drinking through that and driving, or my son, because it could go straight through your head. I said, let's do the floppy straws. Let's go
Right.
floppy.
Right. Or
Too
just
floppy.
drink just the cup where you can sip from.
Yeah.
You don't need a straw.
No.
Solo
No.
cup.
But I just want to once again thank Woodford Reserve. I know you're going to come online for Southside Steve. I've been drinking Jack Daniels since I was 18. Woodford since it came.
I don't think they endorse that, so let's say 21.
No, here's the thing. You were, see, y'all are all laughing. I was legal in the state of Georgia in the
drinking
year
18?
1983. At 18, I was legal. That was the drinking age. Then it went to 19 to 20, 21, and I was always able to drink. So I've been legal to drink since I was a high school senior.
In New York, it went to 18 when we were freshmen in college. We were all very excited.
Is that
about
3-2 or whatever?
It's huh?
Wasn't it like 3-2 beer or whatever? The old back in the day, the beer wasn't as strong at 18.
I don't
Oh,
know.
really?
idea.
They gave you a different blend?
Yeah,
Oh, what?
The
I
hell?
never heard that.
I've never heard that.
3-2
Man, this-
beers. I don't know. Maybe
This
you
ain't
guys.
Mexico, baby. We're
Read a
not
book.
mixed. No.
What do you?
No,
would you?
dude,
They,
Okay, you know my folks lived in New York, in
Right.
Manhattan, and that's
You
where
come
they
from
met and all that
Yankees? You come from Yankees?
My dad's from Ohio. My mom's from Minnesota. I'm
And
the
they had
first
you-
generation born in the South. You know, my brother and I and one cousin were the only three out of like tons of us that are
You
from.
were the
we're all
only
from Georgia.
You're the
No, that's
only
false.
kid
My
that went to
nephew-
Alabama that had Yankee
That's
parents.
no.
and went to private school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
You
a
went to
private school
Catholic
kid.
private
Private
school. Dude, you're an anomaly.
Walking contradiction. Yeah.
God.
But wait a minute, what's this 3-2?
3-2 beer. I'm sure you can probably find it on
I'm
Google.
looking a bit.
But yeah, my dad would tell me back in the day it was 18 to drink, and they throw parties, and it was 3-2 beer, and it was pretty much so watered down that you could never get drunk off it. You would be full and going in one side, peeing out the other side before you could ever even get intoxicated on it.
Okay, here we go.
I'm sure anybody
Maybe
that
that's why
listens to the show that's like 60 and up knows exactly what I'm talking about, and I just seem more educated
It's
than all
just
you guys.
near beer and all that kind of stuff.
Boom.
Right? Similar stuff.
All right. Well, I don't think they had that here. I was
Yeah.
drinking, like
I
you
don't
said.
remember that.
there
We
were-
got drunk.
Yeah, we got drunk. There were rock gut beers. I remember in my day, maybe even a few years after, probably like in my early 20s, when you first move out and you don't have any money, I was drinking Milwaukee's Best. I was drinking, God, what were some of
Peels.
Keystone.
rock gut, Keystone.
Keystone, yeah.
Keystone Lights. I mean,
Keystone
just
Light was the greatest.
crap beer, but I mean, it's crap.
We drank Peels up in Syracuse.
Oh.
Piels, Peels. We had cases of it, the little 8-ounce bottles.
Oh.
Cases of it.
Yeah, it's like that's why I got you those. It make
Yeah.
your hand feel huge. You feel like a giant.
I already feel like a giant.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What
I'm
the
tall. Me
Not that
and
tall.
Southside are over 6
Okay,
feet.
let's not get ridiculous.
You walked
You're
into
not
that.
tall.
No, we're taller than you.
Yeah, everybody's taller than me except Tyler.
That's why we feel like giants.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Okay. God, you're.
I don't
you-
hide it.
And I think the 9 he's pushing it. I've always said he's pushing it on the 9.
This shit is 5'8".
Right,
But let me
right.
tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that's good. You could actually drive. You'd be a great NASCAR driver, Indy Cup driver, and an actor. All those actors are 5'8".
Yeah,
so that's
they're
good.
all little. Yeah.
So you never know. We could get a.
And maybe if I'm lying, I could be a good jockey, win the Kentucky Derby. Who knows?
Yeah, that horse
I
would-
have to lose about 400 pounds.
It better be a effing Clydesdale if you're gonna ride it.
Gotta be a thick beast.
Yeah, right. Budweiser would be like, God dang, we're winning on a Clydesdale with a fat ass jockey. You'd be like,
Dude, you know how much ad space you could sell on my ass?
oh, seriously? Matter of fact, you would have to have on the back of your jockey pants, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. All those little skinny jockeys are all puking and got no enamel on their teeth, and then there's you. God knows.
Bad.
So tell me this much, Shelley, and I just kind of want to know, with the impact you had on politics, and I got to tell you, one thing I will ask anybody listening, and I think we do have people that vote left that love this show, and I hope you do. You try not to hate on anybody. I want to hear what anybody has to say and listen to it. Now, I vote right. I believe in the right, but I believe there's way too much hate on the right, and I wish people would just take a step back, look at the economy. I thought Trump was pretty damn popular till he ran for president. I thought people dug him. I definitely thought people in New York dug his ass, and there's all this hate, and there's like insane hate. And I just think people just need to effing chill a second and just take some time and just look at the dude. And can't we respect the office? I did not vote for Obama. And I was like, I didn't vote for Clinton either. And but I wasn't a total dick about it while they were in office. I was like, you're running my country. Let's try to do something great here. But with the impact that you made on politics, in our state with Governor Brian Kemp, which a lot of people didn't see him winning, which I'm glad he did, and the president, how has that affected your career? Is there any inroads? Do you see any future for you working with politicians or being in that type of the business? Or are you trying to get basically back on the radio and do what you do best, which is talk radio?
I'm trying to get back on the radio. I mean, that's
Okay.
all I really know and love to do is just talking, giving my opinion and talking and having fun and making people laugh. If I'm not funny, but Brett made me funny, or he taught me how to be funny. But
Matt helped.
Matt helped a lot, and Randy helped.
You know what's funny? I'm working
He's
with.
going to listen to this, too, and be like, y'all are
Hey,
pigs.
I'm working with Randy and Brett right now on a podcast called Terminus, and we're doing it for Cumulus.
Pretty good.
And it's pretty damn good. But I will be honest with you, I did not have too much. I had more interaction with you in the building. You know how it is. Us,
Right.
Us top celebrities talk.
Right,
You know,
right,
we-
right.
we're
The
like-
well-paid.
Yeah. And then we look at the
You're
other.
right.
I'm like, who's your assistant? Who's Brett Barnhead? Barney. Barney knows. Whatever. And then you get to know these guys. But I am thoroughly impressed with Randy and what's Randy's last name?
Wiles.
Yeah, I love you, Wiles.
Must be impressed.
No. Shut up. I know people on first name basis.
Right.
No, but Randy Wiles is like very impressive. What a writer. And Brett, great direction. So now I see what you were working with.
Right. It was good
Because
stuff.
I'm working with them now.
Yeah, it's a good team.
It is because they're helping out us because you guys aren't around anymore. So again, I think it sucked when the station got sold. I wish they would have given you guys a shot. Is anybody in town starting to work with you when you talk about radio? We do know you're doing some work on SB.
Yeah,
How's
just
that-
filling in when they call me.
But
I
that's
show up.
huge.
Yeah, I thought so.
If WSB, I mean, we got to admit they have run this town. If you didn't know, for the past my whole entire radio career, they're always top 3.
And now, from what I've seen in the recent numbers that just came out, there a lot of the urban stations are overtaking them, and it's not overtaking them, but are kind of moving up. Rivers moving up, and some other stations are moving up. And so I feel that now, it's funny how you have ownership companies that see something and say Midland is good. You know what I mean? And then you have ownership stations that are like, hey, we're not top 1. we got to make changes immediately. You know what I mean? And so it's just interesting to see. But yeah, like I'm filling in. I think it's a big deal. I'll see what happens. God has a plan. I have no idea what it is. I'm just following.
You're rolling with some faith.
Yeah, rolling with the faith.
Ain't
That's
nothing
it.
wrong with rolling with the faith. What times have you been put
I've been
on?
filling in. I've filled in for Eric Erickson twice. I filled in for Clark Howard once. I filled in for Mark Aram, I think, twice. And I'll be filling in for Eric next week, Thursday and Friday.
Eric Von Hessler?
Eric Erickson.
Eric Erickson, okay.
Next Thursday and Friday. I haven't filled in for Von Hess. I think he's a lot like Shannon. They don't miss days.
Yeah, Eric's a workaholic.
Yeah, they don't miss days.
God knows we worked together for probably on and off 12, 13 years. But yeah, I'm happy for him over there and his crew. He's another guy that grabbed interns and made them air personalities. You know?
Yeah.
Was it grabbed interns?
Yeah, dude. Every one of them was an intern that's on the air with him now, and they worked with him on his podcast, just like we're doing now. And that podcast,
Yeah, that went right over your head.
What?
No, I was like, he grabbed interns. I was like, damn, tell me more about that.
Well, you know what? You know why?
This day and age, he'd be fired already.
Here's the deal, because I'm not a pervert.
No, I know. You think clean.
I think clean.
Yeah.
And back in
You
my
know, that's funny.
back in my day, we drilled interns, but you know what? They asked for
Sure
it.
you did.
They wanted it. Every intern I ever had sex. There was one girl that was 17.
You want an internship? 419.
Damn right. There was a girl that was 17, and I hope she listens to the podcast. And we were literally counting the days until she turned 18, and I hit it on her birthday. You know, just because it was legal.
And you were 43?
That's what it sounded like. No, at the time I was in my 30s, so it wasn't horrible. Wasn't horrible.
Now, you know what's interesting about
But
that?
dude, this chick was like, college girl, and she was on. I mean, she was
17,
on.
she's in high school, dude.
No,
she was
18. She was 18.
She actually graduated
You
early.
turned 18 in
No,
high
she was,
school.
but she was an intern, so she was already in college.
Yeah.
No.
And
dude.
he waited for her to turn 18. Yeah,
was-
you can't be an intern at high school. You
She
can't
was
be.
at Georgia,
Yeah.
and she had an academic scholarship, and the chick graduated
But
early.
the funny thing about what you just said is that it tells you how much times have changed. Because nowadays you couldn't get away with that. Back then it was perfectly normal to do what you did,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
perfectly normal for her to say, "Wow, I just slept with the talent."
it was-
with the one morning show. I mean, it was everybody was on board. Everybody was cool with it. She didn't see anything wrong with it. She's probably still telling the story to her husband right now, driving around saying, "That guy on the radio, yeah, I boned him at 18."
There's a lot of dudes I meet that give me the frowny face because I either dated or had sex with their wives, and I'm like, man, that was 30 years ago, dude. You came along 8 years after I hit it.
Right.
Don't be hating on me.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
Eskimo Brothers.
Huh?
Eskimo Brothers.
What's that?
What's that?
Eskimo Brother. Tyler, can you help me out here, man?
What's Eskimo Brothers?
I don't know if I can explain it, but
Eskimo
I know
Brother-
exactly
no,
what you're
it's
talking
not-
about.
Okay, it's easy to explain.
Urban
You have
Dictionary
sex with a
it.
chick. I have sex with the same chick. We are now Eskimo brothers. And you help out your Eskimo brothers. That means y'all hit the same spot.
Yeah.
It's an Eskimo. Like, you're supposed
Some
to help
go-
your Eskimo family out. Like, a guy comes to me. Oh, my gosh.
All right.
Where does that
I
originate?
can't say I'm
from?
that.
Dedicated
I'm
this
not.
entire room.
I've got to say I'm not that open-minded on that. If I met someone my wife slept with 8 years ago, that's different. 8, 9, 10 years ago. But if I just met my wife 3 days ago and I met the guy she was dating recently, I'm not that open. We're not Eskimo brothers. I'm keeping you away from me.
Damn right.
right.
Yeah.
8, 9 years ago, we could be all the Eskimo brothers you want. You know what I mean?
I agree. There's a point in time.
There's a
where
point in
it's
time when
too
it's
soon.
it's uncomfortable.
But if I ever met anybody my wife slept with, I'd be like, hey, how are you doing? What's up, bro?
what's up?
It was so far before me,
Right.
does not even matter.
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, I would not have married a virgin. No way. I am not that guy. I never took one girl's virginity. I didn't want to be that guy. That's a special thing. Even I hold that up high.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless you are totally in love with somebody, know you're going to marry him and have kids with him, I don't take it. I don't see awkward sex also as a turn on. I don't need a girl crying or
Yeah, it's very clinical.
yeah, I don't need that. I don't need her going. I want somebody going. Oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, hit it.
Are you even in yet?
Yeah. I don't need somebody going. Oh my God. And then I don't need her saying at the end of it, "I love you." I don't want that. I don't want anybody falling in love with me unless I love them. Right?
I loved every woman.
Did you?
Every single
Did
one.
you use love as a word to get
No,
girls in bed?
because when I said it, in my mind and
meant
heart,
it,
I
right.
meant it. Now, I could have said it
Shelley.
then. I'm telling you the truth. I could have said it right in that moment. I meant it in that moment. I could have told someone else the very same thing the next day, but I meant it. I mean, I'm truly capable.
He's a man of passion.
Yeah, I
he's
was
got a lot of love to go around.
I mean, I truly meant it. I wasn't lying. I really did. I really love you. I mean, really, I did.
How many girls did you sleep with that you told that you loved
Oh
them?
man, I couldn't
That
tell
you loved them.
that I love them. I probably, honestly,
In a roundabout number.
yeah, no. I would say half of the women that I've slept with in my life.
See, now that's I said I love you to two, the first one and the last one, and I
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
so
dig
you're
that about
different,
myself.
yeah.
You know, everybody else was I
It
like
doesn't
you.
mean I didn't mean it. It doesn't mean I didn't mean it. I did.
But see, I see guys that to me is almost as bad as Bill Cosby or any other dude that puts a pill in a drink. I hate beating up on you, Bill. Actually, I find you entertaining.
He's kind of beating up on you, Shelley. He just compared
Yeah,
you
No,
to
you
Bill
he
just
Cosby.
compared me to Bill Cosby, and he beat up on me because he said using love is like drugging a woman. No, I understand that. No, I understand where we're going.
I'm gonna sit back and let
No,
you
no,
take
no, no, no,
this.
no, no, no. I understand where he's going with it because
Love is a drug,
it
man.
is. No, it is. There is a line of thinking. That's why I said I truly believe when I say it. I wasn't saying it to say, oh, I think I can let this. I think this girl will give me some ass if I say I love you, and I say, oh, I love you. No, I'm not saying that. When I said it, I meant it in my mind. I really felt that way about that person. All I'm trying to explain is that I could feel that way about several people at the same time.
But you do obviously get my point that it is a drug.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I
There
think-
are guys out there who lie and say, "I love you, baby. I'm going to marry you." Will
Just
say
to get
anything.
laid.
I mean, I mean,
that sucks.
how many times have you said, "Let me just put the head in"? I mean, come on, that counts. That
but-
counts as like a lie.
All right, that's about 30 times.
Yeah, so now it's the same thing as saying "I love you." That
And
went
you
right
know
back
what?
around.
And
Hold
I'll-
on, let us finish this.
And I'll be honest with you, if there was an air check of me having that conversation, I would probably kill myself because I remember it's so stupid. You're like,
you sound so pathetic
You're
too
right,
in those
it is.
moments. Yeah.
You are a loser. You're like
You're trying
like,
anything.
baby. Look, seriously,
Look,
seriously. And
just
you
put
do the
that in.
whisper voice, and when a guy whispers, you sound like it is like gaffer. You know, you're like, I just want you to let me just a little bit. Just let me I promise.
Yeah, just let me put the head.
I'm just gonna put that.
We've
just a
all
little.
said that.
How about just the tip? Just for a second. That's it. I won't go any deeper.
Let me rub it on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just rub on it. You know, and then the chick, and then all of a sudden it's a night of, okay, stop. Okay, stop. And both of you have had sex with 50 people, so why are you playing the weird game? But you do.
So it's the same thing.
It
So
is, it's the
we've
same
all
thing.
tried. We've all tried. Now to Bill Cosby though. Let's bring up Bill Cosby because you brought him up.
Well, he's in jail. God bless him.
No, Bill Cosby is falsely accused.
Really?
Falsely accused.
You know what? I've never had anybody in the history of ever defend Bill. I got to hear it.
Yeah, no, he's falsely. I mean, these women were having sex with him all along, and the woman that the one that he got found guilty of. Remember, he only got found guilty of raping or drugging one.
But wasn't that because of the time frames?
Well, no,
There was only one that could go after him because it was within.
It doesn't
20
matter.
years.
It doesn't matter. You should have said something 20 years ago. If a man drugs you as a woman, you
Fair
don't
enough.
wait 20 years to say something.
Fair
And
enough.
the one that he got in trouble for, it was for Benadryl. It was for cold medicine. She came to his house. He was already fucking her. He was already boning her. He was cheating. You know, you're fucking a girl. She comes to your house late at night and she says, I have a cold. You give her Benadryl. He has sex with you because he's having sex on the side with his wife. So
Yeah.
when you come to his house, you're not coming to chill. You're not coming to sit around and talk nicely. You're coming to fuck. That's it.
That's all you're
That's
doing.
all you're
I
doing.
agree. If you're hanging out with a married man, it's
That's
sex.
it. And so that's, you know, and he got caught for that one girl. And I always felt like, you know, now R. Kelly's a drag of society. He should go to jail. There's a lot of these guys out there that have done wrong. I just think, I've always said that I just feel that not enough people defended Bill Cosby.
Do you think that Bill should have done the pudding pop commercials knowing he was cheating on his wife? It's a
Of
question.
course. I think he should have done Fat Albert, knowing he was cheating on his wife. I think
Hey.
anybody that cheats on, if you cheat on your wife, that's between you and your wife. I don't particularly cheat on mine. I've never have. I never will.
I don't
But-
particularly.
You know what I mean? But I've never done it. I don't think. I know I won't. But if you want to do that on your wife, that's between you and your wife. It
Brett
doesn't-
cheats on himself. He
all the
uses different
time.
hands
All the time. All the time. All the
Sometimes
time.
I use your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, you a terrible Fat Albert.
Shut up. I know I can do fat up. Hey.
Pudding
Bad.
Pops, Fat Albert. I mean, he was for the cheap. I mean, he did a lot for American. He did a lot for the African American community specifically.
There's no doubt he was a breakthrough comedian. I agree. He did a lot for and you're right, the black culture, and it's and you don't know what that is unless you are black. I will tell you that I am a black man inside just because where I went to high school, where I grew up. I'm a West End College Park guy. If you know the areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was around it more than most.
Am I hearing?
I'm not like
Brett won't stand for it.
redneck junior over here.
Right.
But
You know, it's funny that you say
This
that.
guy had a rebel flag on the front of a fucking Trans Am. You think that he was the
Well,
black
how long ago though?
by the way,
in high school?
By the way, that was the state flag. Yes, I did air quotes. It was the state flag. And by the way, my father fought that. He actually went to White Fowler, who was the governor at the time in Georgia, and he had a new flag design because he even educated me that it was done for racist reasons in 1956.
Well, if you grew up in College Park in the West End in that area, you came into contact at a younger age than most in Georgia with African Americans.
And I went
on a regular basis.
Damn right. I went to College Park summer camp. My mother she actually taught her. It was her job to run summer camp in College Park. Man, I was the only white kid.
Why are we justifying who's the whitest black guy?
No. We're not
I'm
doing
just telling
that.
him that
We're
we
just
get
telling-
each other.
No. He's saying that he gets Bill Cosby.
I do. I understand Bill. What I'm saying is I get Bill. I
is
get Bill.
ridiculous.
No, I understand Bill. And Bill,
I'm sorry.
Bill, you're in jail for cheating. All right, how about that?
That's what he's in jail for.
You're in jail for
He's
cheating.
in jail for cheating. And he's in jail because when his trial came about at a time when people were not just putting up with that, i.e. Kevin Spacey's now out.
Oh.
And he's found not guilty, and rightfully so. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
But no one cares about that. No one cares about that story anymore. Me Too is gone. It's gone out the window. No one cares.
That's good. You know what? He's got a point. He does. Is there anything you want to jump in with? I mean, I know you don't.
Southside's wearing his sunglasses in solidarity with Stevie Wonder.
I ain't gonna lie. All right, I'll go ahead and say this. There's two uniforms of hate. There's the Klan outfit and there's the Black Panther. I would
Hold on.
definitely rather be a Black Panther. Wait, what are the uniform choices? A cone
Because
hat.
who's going to say they want to be a Klansman?
I don't know.
I mean,
No, but
Here's
I
the
know
deal.
one's a
Well,
lot
hold
more
on.
hip
Let's-
looking. I know.
Oh, yeah.
let's throw neo-Nazi in
No.
here.
But the Black Panthers
I mean,
weren't
Jesus
a group
Christ.
of hate. You can't compare the two.
No.
Now, if you're comparing the outfits.
No,
you're
I'm comparing outfits, but they
a
want.
sheet can never be as cool as a black leather
No,
jacket.
I'm telling you right now.
Where
Exactly.
did this show go?
No. Shelley, I'm with you. If I show up to hate camp and they're like, would you like the black leather jacket, the beret, and the Ray-Bans? Or would you like this great shoe and a cone hat?
So wait a minute, you're saying the Black Panther Party was a hateful party like the Klan? No, you're just saying the outfits. I'm trying to help you here.
I know.
I'm trying to help you.
Here's the deal: the Black Panthers came about because they were being hated on, so they needed a good defense, and
And they look cool.
they look
And
cool.
look cool doing it.
I don't know who designed their outfits, but I'm going to give you credit. on
Right,
that.
it was just a cool
I
outfit.
like a good
It helped.
uniform.
It helped the branding and the marketing of the group. It also, quite honestly, it also at that time made them a fearsome look to people that were like, "Oh, I'm not sure about these guys."
No, you're damn right. And you know what? And they deserved to whoop a little ass. They were getting their ass kicked, so why not kick a little ass back? Yeah, that's
Best
what I'll
looking
have.
group.
This
at
is
the
good
roller
radio,
rink,
Brett. You don't
dude.
think
Yeah.
this is good?
No, I never thought that I would sit down and compare the fashion styles of the Klan and
It's good radio.
I'll be honest with you. You want to
Black
get
Panther
in?
Party.
All right, here's where we'll go. World War II. Japanese, not a good look. I didn't like their uniforms. The United States of America, I liked our uniforms, but there is no doubt the German uniform was definitely better looking.
I agree with that.
I mean, I'm telling you right
I
now.
understand your point. No, you gotta understand. Come on, let's
Those
not all
were great
let's not all be
looking
politically
uniforms.
correct.
I'm not being politically correct. I just never thought it was a
their
conversation
uniforms.
I'd have.
It was almost like their uniforms were tailored. Right?
They were.
Because ours were very baggy. They were very loose fitting. The Japanese were too rigid
It's
in theirs.
almost as if they like things pure.
They're way too rigid. And don't even.
Thank you. That's a good one.
I understand what you mean.
Hey,
Touche.
look
Touche,
look
brother.
up real quick because there was a fashion designer that designed the German uniforms. We didn't have a fashion designer.
we just threw together uniforms and put them on men so they all look the same going into battle.
Right, but I will tell you the coolest look that we had going, and you'll agree with this, was the Flyboys, the bombardier, the leather jackets.
Right.
That was a good look.
Cut at the waist.
Yeah, now that was a good look.
Hugo Boss, I believe. was
Hugo, all
there.
right, there you go. I remember Hugo
Damn,
Boss.
they were
Hugo
stylish.
Boss was
the
the
designer of the German uniform.
Really?
I'm not talking about opinions. We're not getting into
Right,
it.
right.
We're talking uniforms only.
Only, right,
Because
right.
if I'm going into battle and I could die, I want to look good.
And did you see the way that they marched?
So Hugo Boss.
Stop.
Actually, they march goofy. I'm giving it to the Americans. on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. The straight leg was just that seems
Stupid.
way too tiring.
Stupid.
No, it does. It does.
Bad march.
Hugo Boss made
That-
the.
I knew that, and I needed you to
That's
pull that up
interesting.
to be
There's a
factual.
lot
And
of
it's
companies
it-
connected to them that
That we
wish
just
you wouldn't know.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw out that Hugo Boss cologne I have now.
There you go. You got to throw it out.
Got to throw it out
Hey,
now.
I'm against it, but I'm glad we've covered uniforms. I thought that was great.
Oh, speaking of fashion,
That was great.
speaking of fashion, Tyler, do you have that picture? I want to ask you something, Steve. This was a real contentious picture that Shelley and I discussed a lot of times when he actually had a show that I worked on.
Shelley will have a show again.
So, okay, can
Whoa.
we first out? This is Shelley. You are in college, correct?
I think I'm in college at that time.
You
yeah,
look
that
a
shirt,
blurry, the
that
shit,
shirt,
but-
that shirt I had was in college. I
You
think
look
so.
like Sinbad.
Yep, I do.
And now
I was a handsome dude, though.
You
I
were-
was killing it in college. When you talk about pussy, I was killing it in college.
Dude, look at you.
I was killing it in college.
killing it.
Dude, look at the shirt that he has on right now in this picture. It's found on his Facebook, Shelley Wynter.
Go to Shelley Wynter if you want to see all the Shelley Wynter clothing.
That's all right.
It's a Karma Sutra of skeletons, and he'd always tell me everybody had this shirt. Did you have that shirt, Southside?
I never had that shirt.
I thought it was a popular shirt.
Skeletons boning.
Well,
Yeah.
it was all different positions. I thought it was the coolest
So
shirt when I
bad.
bought it. I used to wear it all the time, and women liked it. Oh, you had the positions. You kind of was telegraphing what you wanted to do right there.
Well, you're definitely letting people know that you've got an imagination. That if you go to the bedroom with me, I've got 20 positions in my head, ready to go.
or at least I can hold up my shirt and be creative.
What year was this in?
Like 84, 83, 84.
All
I was
right.
in college from 83 to 87.
Okay, then we're right behind each other. I graduated high school in 83.
Okay.
So, I don't remember that shirt, but I got to tell you,
Yeah, you
man,
graduated high school in 83. No,
Yeah.
I graduated. Yeah, I graduated 79, 83. I graduated high school 83. I was in
All right,
college
then
83 to
we're the-
87.
there you go.
We're the same age. Yeah.
I was supposed to graduate high school in 80 or college in 87, the year my wife was born. Geriatric fuck! Yeah.
My wife is younger than me too. My
Isn't it
man.
great? Yeah, what's up, baby? Touch it. Touch it. Oh, my God.
That was
You
a
could have helped out and been a connection between two beautiful men.
I just want to see if you guys would touch tips.
Yeah, we would. Of course we would.
By the way, that shirt was influenced by Hugo Boss.
It was a nice shirt.
I got a lot of play from that shirt. I love that shirt. I'm a t-shirt guy to this day. I'm a t-shirt guy.
Yeah, there's no. You know what?
I
If you
can tell right now.
if you can work honestly in a t-shirt, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Seriously.
I just dressed like in this shirt because Brett told me not to look dirty when I came. Right?
Eh.
Which I don't know. Which when I think about it, that was kind of a racist statement.
It was.
He didn't say.
How is
He
that
didn't say.
racist?
I don't know. It just seems dirty. I don't know. It just seems racist. I don't know.
are your
Everyone's
parents-
calling people racist nowadays, so I
Yeah.
thought I would.
Why not? Yeah.
Why
every-
not?
join in. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, do your parents? I mean, they sent
That's
you.
not
to
what I said. I said
God, Alabama just ruined you.
just a heads up. The whole show is filmed. You don't have to dress up, but don't look like shit with a mustard stain.
Shit. That's the term you use. Shit. Yeah.
All right, well, that was.
But
that's
he's right,
literally-
though.
That
That
is
was-
totally racist.
Yeah, no, but
But he would
it's
come in
totally possible that I could come in with a T-shirt with
Yeah.
a mustard stain on it.
He would come in and do the morning show. Granted, you would wake up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you'd drive in, and then I'd meet you at the show. So you got up hours before I did because you live further away, and you look.
Like I just got out of bed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's radio.
It is radio. The man I saw you every morning. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. So what? That's what I wear to work.
Some days it was the same shirt back to back.
you know what? Occasionally
some
I'm-
days it was.
Occasionally, a man.
And my wife would get on me
Grab
about
it.
that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. I'm just saying. Occasionally, a man just grabs the same shirt.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't used as a cleanup shirt, he's okay.
Yeah, but we film the first segment every day.
Yeah, my
Whatever.
wife would say something, and I would say, "Baby, it's just radio. No one knows." And she would say, "But the people you work with would know." And I said, "No one's paying attention." And now Brett
Is paying
brings it up.
attention. Wow. So the
Fashion
whole-
police.
Months later, he brings it up. I'm going to tell her you brought it up.
Okay, I'm going to knock out some questions. Shelley,
Well, do we want to give him a minute to himself to talk about things before you rip him apart, or you want him to feel good about himself after you rip him apart? You go ahead. It's your call.
you give him a minute.
Okay. This is time now for the Yeah Come On Show cigarette break, brought to you by Oxygen Financial. The actual time to smoke a cigarette, Brett, is
I'm going to toss this one to Shelley. What do you think it is?
to smoke a cigarette. How long does it take?
Let me see. It depends if I'm smoking a Newport 100 or a short.
Let's go short. Let's go short.
Maybe 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Now, if you're in a hurry and you got to smoke quick, how
Oh,
fast?
like 2 minutes. Like puff. I might throw half of it out.
Well, that's what you got right now.
now.
We're doing a quick cigarette break, so we want to know what you're looking to do, what's next. Is there anything that you have currently going on? This is your time to self-promote. I want you to get out your social medias and everything where people can get in contact
Absolutely.
with you.
I appreciate you guys having me here. First of all, nice to meet you, Tyler. But thank you for having me on Southside and Brett. You can follow me on Facebook, Shelley Wynter, SHELLEY. WYNTER. Follow me on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube because I've got to get up. So here's the thing: I've got to get up to 1,000 people so I can do YouTube live.
Okay.
At the streaming. So if you're listening or paying attention, go subscribe to Shelley Wynter Show on YouTube. Shelley Wynter on YouTube page. That way I can get up to 1,000. And that's really it. I'm filling in on WSB, and you can find out what I'm filling in by follow me on Facebook, and then that's where I post everything.
Does WSB on their website go ahead and show when you're going to be filling in?
Sometime. If I send it, what I'll do is I'll write on my Facebook page that I'll be on X day, and they'll sometime put it on their Facebook stuff or on their WSB. But the times that I filled in, I'm on Mark Aram's page. I guess the show that I filled in for him is on Mark Aram's page.
So people can see your show.
So people can hear it. It's
well,
audio.
WSB doesn't bring you back unless you're doing it. You got to be doing it right.
Well, I'll find it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. One thing I would ask you during your cigarette break is anybody talk to you like any of the other news networks, like is WGST, and I'm not trying to get you in trouble with SB. I'm just wondering what's out there.
No, it's GST. As far as I can see, the tea leaves they do syndicated shows. Most
so
of
no
their
local
lineup,
show.
I think they have one show. Gordon Deal, I think, is local. He's in the mornings, but no one has returned my call, and I don't feel too bad about it because no one's returned anybody else's call from over at our station, from previous stations. So,
well, and I'm not, and I can say it even though I battle against them my entire career. I think it's huge, and I think it's a credit to your opinions and who you are that WSB is taking a look at you. I think that's great.
I hope they keep taking a look. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Steve.
I hope the best. So definitely run down Shelley Wynter and subscribe on YouTube. The same way we want you to subscribe on the Yeah Come On show. If you dig what you're hearing or seeing, depending on how you get this, then definitely tell a few people and get this guy 1,000, man, because that is a new platform. This is something we're doing. We're hoping to build. And you just never know where it can go. It only goes through if the people dig it.
Absolutely.
And that's huge. So thank you for watching this long. I hope you don't think ill of Brett for his racist views, but this show cares.
Right. We care. I care. I care about my redneck friends, my College Park friends. Tyler, you're from Athens?
Yes, sir.
My Athens friends, you know. I care about my West End friends. I'm a loving person.
And Tyler is our little liberal, and that's great. So therefore, you don't hang up on us because we got Tyler.
Right.
One question before he starts his question. So I just want to give you a voice on this because you haven't had one, and this is something we're not talking about because we don't get into politics on Bailey and Southside on Rock 100.5 because you try not to. The room is definitely bent. I vote one way, and the other three vote another way. So it'd be war. But what do you think
That wouldn't be entertaining radio.
No, it's not.
Right.
What do you think about the latest story on the argument in the grocery store?
Interesting.
Because I know that you would have a take on this, and we don't need it to go more than about 4 or 5 minutes. But I want to give you a voice on that because I'd love to hear your opinion.
Absolutely. I think everybody in this situation is wrong. I do. By the way, I got a call from I call her, Erica Thomas. She called me earlier today, and I called her back and told her, look, just get off the television, drop it, leave it alone. It's nothing. It's you. Don't die on this hill. 2020 is coming up. As a Democrat in the state of Georgia, you're going to have a lot more hills to fight, a lot more battles to fight that are more important than this.
So you gave advice.
Yeah, I told her, leave it alone, drop it. I think both of them were wrong. I think that you don't get into the express lane with more than 10 items. I don't know who counts. The cashiers don't count. The store doesn't care. Most people don't care.
It's the person in line with 3 items that sees you have 18.
Right, exactly. And now the difference is that person that has 18 and you have 3, usually what happens to me in that situation, they'll turn to me and says, "That all you have? You can go ahead of me." You know what I mean?
That does happen.
That happens.
That
So-
happens.
So I think that, I think that both of them. I think we live in a world right now. I think the guy was definitely wrong. One, for counting the items. I don't think, and no one should have that much time on their hand where you're counting what's in people's, baskets. But I think also where he really stepped over the line, I think, was calling her the B word. And I don't care where you're from. I don't care what culture you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care what Democrat, Republican. I think everyone has a visceral reaction to be called a bitch. I don't care whether you're a guy or girl. If you were
totally agree with
yeah,
you.
right. So I think that he stepped over the line on that one. But I think really in this day and age, we are
Shouldn't talk to a woman that way.
right. I just not at all. I don't
Even
care.
if she acts like an idiot, you try
Right.
not to go there.
You don't have to go there. And as a guy, you just I can beat you up. I don't need to go there. Okay, And he left and came back for it. So I'm just the whole thing is crazy. I think the media took it out of control. I think she was wrong for posting it on Facebook, and I think where she went wrong was she tried to make it a Trump, Republican, white person, white supremacy, white privilege, whatever that new term they use on the left.
And that's got to stop.
And that's gotta stop.
Why can't it be two individuals with
That's
a disagreement? Why does skin color go into it?
Or political affiliation.
Or political affiliation.
I think
Either
that-
one.
Yeah, I think assholes and dickheads come in all political affiliations, all races, all creeds, all sexes, all genders. You can be an asshole counting people's stuff in line. You can be an asshole having too many things in a 10 item line.
You just made a great point, and I'm glad I grew up the way I did. I had a father that if I ever used any terminology that was deemed offensive or racial, he wouldn't knock me across the room, but I was going to get it.
Right.
And
But the B word is just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't. You could cut me off in a light. You could do whatever you want as a woman to me, short of putting your hands on me. It takes a lot for me to call you a bitch in public. I mean, it just takes a lot. You've got to have I think it's all social media has allowed us to believe that we could just say anything to anybody that we say online. You could say in person now to people and not expect people to react to it.
Well, there was a point in time where if you said it to somebody's face, you were willing to pay the price.
You're willing to pay the price.
And
absolutely.
now you're right. People have bowed up now that they can get online. Everybody's a tough guy.
Right.
But I'm with you. I just don't. I'm so tired. Why can't you just say, you know what? Why can't we just label people a-holes? If
Right,
you're an
that's
asshole,
it.
you're an asshole.
Just don't be an a-hole.
Just
Right.
don't be one. I can't stand an asshole, and everybody can spot them a mile away.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like, man, that's on you, dude. This is the way you want to roll through life. Just get the F away from me.
Absolutely. And they come in all shapes and sizes and colors and everything.
Yeah, Brett.
Assholes, yeah, they definitely do.
They do. They do. There's no doubt about it. Brett has a brown one. We've discussed it. I'm just saying. We talked last week about
And hairy. And
I'm
hairy.
going to eat Brett's
It's very
butt.
hairy.
We talked about last week if we were stuck on
Where
a
did that
boat.
come from?
That was
No.
Steve. You didn't.
I'm going to eat Brett's butt. I said if we were starving to death, I would eat Brett's butt first, just because I think it'd be
It's
sweet.
a lot of meat there.
It'd be sweet meat. It'd be like
So you're going to
tender.
cut it off?
Yeah.
You're going to cut slices of it off and eat it.
Yeah, just like in the movie Alive. But
Right.
here's the thing: I'm going to keep Brett alive. We're in the rowboat. We've been at sea
Right.
for 14 days. We're
Right.
all like, we got cotton mouth. And so
Right.
I'm going to eat some Brett butt, but I'm not going to kill him.
Right. You can't. You have to just slice off slivers of the butt.
And then I will feed Brett his own butt.
Right.
I will feed him his butt.
Oh,
That was
we're
a great
getting
movie, by the
twisted
way.
now.
These young guys, you know that movie?
You know the
Alive?
movie Alive?
No.
You know the
No,
movie?
actually I don't.
It's a great movie.
Who's in that?
Colombian soccer team goes down in the Andes.
Rugby team.
Rugby
It's a
team.
true story.
A true
True
story.
story.
They go down and the key to the story, they go down in the Andes, plane crashes, and they have to eat. They resort to cannibalism
Right, right.
to survive. The key
survive.
to the whole story is the guy. They flip a coin to decide which way the one guy they send out to get help. They flip a coin to see which direction he goes in. He goes in the direction that's the longest. If he'd have gone this way, he would have gotten help in like 2 miles. There's like a road 2 miles
God,
away.
that
That's
sucks.
at the end of the movie. They tell you that at the end of the movie.
Why wouldn't they just send one person one way, one person the other?
They thought about that because the one guy they did send out in the beginning, one guy walked away, he never came back. So they didn't know what to do. They didn't want to just send people out because people would die.
And what they did is with the people that died during the crash, they laid them in the snow
And froze. Yep.
and frozen. And so what they would do is they would cut out pieces of their butt. And they ate butt because that's where all the meat is on a body, and it's less
True
debate.
story. Great book.
And the heads are down, so you're not looking at the face of the individual. So it was just how they survived. That's all. So that's where that comes from. I'm not a butt eater. It's a reference to a movie. I wish you would follow along. I know your mother listens to the show. I'm not trying to eat your son's butt, okay? But if I had to, I would.
with a big smile on your face.
Yeah, I would eat.
But you'd have, like you said, you have to keep him alive.
I do.
You have to keep him because he's your buddy.
It is my buddy. Well, now, again, we've got Shelley Wynter, former host on Talk 106.7, a Cumulus radio station that we sold. He is now doing part-time work at WSB. If you're just joining us, it is the Yeah Come On Show brought to you by Oxygen Financial. And Brett Barney, our co-host, now has some questions for you. And I got to tell you, I don't preview these. I don't know where this is going. Good luck, Shelley.
No problem.
Well, you and I were on air together. You harped a lot on the job market being better under Trump, especially for black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lowest unemployment for black Americans and
Hispanics and women and everything.
Just say minorities. That
Yeah.
works.
Now that no, it was always said black Americans. This is the way it was always worded on the station. I don't know why, but it always was. Now that you're off the air with us,
Okay, go ahead.
and you're facing unemployment head on, do you still agree?
Absolutely. I've been. I could have.
Do you see it differently, or like?
No.
know.
I see. I could have been working the day after our last day on that Monday. It's just that I need one to keep my time free because I might be filling in. Number two, money. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to just work just to be working. I do have a little bit of savings. I have money sitting around that I don't have to do that. But yeah, if I needed to, I could have gone to work that Monday doing a lot of different things.
No, I was faced in the same situation. It's funny you say that when I was unemployed in radio. And you're sending out tapes. You're trying to get things done. You're making yourself available. And it is tough because you want to get back into what you do for a living. So I'm with you. You could take any job, but until you have to. I took unemployment. I felt like I deserve it.
Yeah.
I busted my ass.
First
I
time in
paid
my life
tax.
I've ever done it.
I've
Yeah.
only done it once, and I
Yeah.
did it and they don't let you do it long.
No.
You know,
12 weeks.
That's it.
Yep. And if you make any money, they take it from you.
Yeah, they check with you, and the thing is, man, it's like a job. I had to take 3 courses. There they make you take a course every 3 weeks.
Yep.
And you have to report there too to talk with a counselor to see, and they're trying to find you work, and you got to let them know if you got
They just
work.
they just sent me. The lady just sent me one, just saying, "Hey, I think this is going to be good for you."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so yeah, the jobs are out there. It's just a matter of, do you want this particular job or that particular job? Do you want to? I had an interview with a company. The guy told me it was open. The time, the time was open. You can pick your own hours. And when I got to the interview, the guy said, "No, I don't know why they told you that. It's 10 to 7." I was like, "Oh no, I can't do that. I need to keep my hours free." So I had a job.
Okay.
I make fun about unemployment. It's fun. I think it's kind of funny to be talking about unemployment.
Yeah. Who knew? I've been there. You haven't been there yet, Brett. Hope you never have to.
Yep. He's got a rich family. They'll take care of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God,
Right.
you come from money too.
Yeah, he comes from money.
No, I don't.
He goes,
Son.
I'm definitely gonna marry for it though. Don't
Son,
worry.
here's the deal. You don't have to worry. Well, that's right. Your parents don't.
You
speak
married
to
for
Southern.
money. Trust me, I've heard your story around the halls. I ain't worried. I'm just gonna hitch onto your wagon, buddy.
do you
Go ahead.
have you got
With my ass to your
What do
mouth.
you need, Shelley?
some? Do you have any more ice over
Yeah,
there?
can we get some ice? God dang,
Oh,
can
I
a
got some
man,
right here.
can a
Oh,
man
he's got,
get
no,
ice?
Brett's got some ice.
Okay.
I
there you
grabbed
go.
some extra. This one's just completely off. I don't even have this
Dude,
one.
you just put ice water in this
I
thing.
just put. No, I did.
Yeah, it is
It's
what
not
it
your
is.
fault. Not your
Yeah,
fault.
no, it's my
Eh,
fault.
water it down.
That was stupid. I should have known. He had a couple waters sitting there that long. I should have known.
Go ahead, son.
This one's actually for you because I'm going to go off topic here.
Not that bad.
Steve, if you and I were going to be part of the human centipede, which person would you want to be and which person would you want me to be?
Definitely, I want to be the head. I'll eat.
Apparently not, because you want to be attached to my ass.
No.
So
no.
it sounds like you're going middle. I'm going to go head.
No,
Well,
I-
Shelley, we'll let you go back in.
I'm not participating.
That's actually racist. So I'm
no,
sorry.
I'm not.
I
I'm not,
apologize.
No, I'm
I
not,
didn't mean
I'm
to
not,
put you there.
I'm not participating in the human
He's
centipede.
at the back of the bus.
That's right, the back of the bus.
Nobody
Back
said
of the
the bus.
caterpillar.
Put me at the back of the
The
caterpillar.
centipede.
Right. No, I've never wanted. Brett has always wanted to bring this question up on our show. What position do you want to be in a centipede?
I'm the
And
eater.
I believe every position in the
Right,
centipede,
right.
with the exception of the front, because you only got one hole. And being,
Yeah.
to enter the, you know what I mean, the back. That's it. But if you're in the middle, you're got your head up somebody else's, and
Somebody
it's just
got their head up,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just crazy. So
No, I'm
there's
the
only
head.
one. If I have to be someplace, I want to be in the head.
Yeah, me too. Sorry.
So I guess we'll just battle it out.
Yeah.
One knife, 3 of us. Last man standing gets to be the head. Shelley, you never wanted to be in radio.
That's a great movie too. Human Centipede.
That's another Nazi film. Glad we're bringing them all up.
You know what's funny? I've seen some stupid movies. I've yet to watch the Centipede.
You got to see
I
that
haven't
one.
seen it.
You got to see that one.
It's
I've
a
seen-
good B movie.
You got to see it. You got to get a couple drinks.
I couldn't finish
set
it.
up, turn out, sit with the wife.
The
just
wife?
you got to watch it with the wife because it's
No.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
I don't know if it's funny, man. It
is funny.
I saw the one where the guy planted people and he fed them so they got really fat, and then he cut off their heads and dug them up and ate them. I saw that weird ass movie.
What was that? I never saw
Yeah,
that.
what
one.
kind of weird?
I don't know. I think it was called People Crops.
I brought this story. It was actually
That's it
based-
for my questions. That's it.
No. I brought this
amazing.
story. It was based off something like chopping kind of place that I would go get it. Did you see that movie theaters will start charging different prices for different movies? Is a concept that they're thinking of. So movies like the Avengers and things like that will cost more than lower budget movies to go see. Do you agree with this?
I
Disagree
do
with
because
that?
I just went to see Annabelle Friday with the wife. We had movie night. Annabelle, we loved the first two. This one sucked, and it seemed to me like they just, hey, Annabelle's a good, what do you call it, a good franchise.
Right.
So let's just put out another one. And it seemed like they just put out this movie, put it out there, got people like myself who were fans of the first two. Hey, let's go see the third Annabelle, and it was garbage. So I'm all for that.
So you'd be more willing to spend less money to see multiple low budget films as opposed to a max amount of money for a blockbuster,
absolutely,
major
absolutely,
hit, like
because I know what I'm
Avengers or
getting with the
something.
blockbuster. I know what I'm going to see. I know it's going to be a decent movie, a good movie, a decent to good or very good movie.
It is ridiculous to think that you spend as much money to go see an Avengers movie that spent
absolutely,
$1
As I
billion
said-
to make
right.
it as you did a low budget indie.
absolutely.
It is
I'm
kinda
all for it. I think
ridiculous.
it's a very good idea.
I think it's a good idea also. That's good.
yeah.
I mean, that's like what was the porno back in the day? Why it made the most?
Debbie does Dallas. Dallas does Debbie.
Deep Throat.
Deep Throat.
Throat.
That's
That was
exactly
good,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that was the highest grossing film of like all time.
Cherry
'Cause they spent
Poppers.
like 30 grand to make it.
Ben
And it
Over.
wasn't even really great porn,
No,
as
No.
porn goes. It
but you were
wasn't
told not to go see it, so
right.
everybody wanted to go
Yeah,
see it.
It
Thanks
wasn't
to the
great
White House.
porn.
I'm gonna get back on topic. You said you never wanted to be in radio. You went into sales. You went to college for sales. All this thing. You did years and years in sales. Granted, you were around the media because you were doing media sales, but you've also done. I know you've done a lot of different other sales. When you got into being on the radio, what do you think is the biggest misconception that people may have about people on the radio or being on the radio?
The behind the mic talent
Yes.
on the radio. I think the biggest misconception is that it's an easy job because people think you're just sitting there and it's easy.
Because everybody that meets you goes, I want to do that, or I
Right.
could do that,
Right.
or I you
think
hear
that's
it
the
all.
biggest
I know
thing.
you've heard this before.
My entire career, but it's funny when you bring somebody on that's never been on, or or thinks that they could do
But
it.
you started
they
doing this when
freeze
you were
up.
young,
Right.
right?
I will tell you that my personality was wide open. That I was life of the party. Everybody's like, you should do stand up. That's what I heard my entire life from high school on. And I was flattered by it, just being loud at parties. Like, you hear me before you see me. But when I got on the radio, dude, I tightened up. I was like, I had butterflies. I never get freaked out, and I did. And I was in college radio. I got freaked out. And I pushed through it, and then it took me years to learn how to talk on the radio.
Yeah.
I had to learn it. It didn't come natural
Yeah,
to me.
I think that's the biggest misconception is that people think it's easy. Oh, anybody can sit there and when the music stops, talk and whatever, and they don't realize, particularly for the radio, the music guys, you guys have to make a point in literally 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, we all started as DJ, so yeah, you're on air. So I get thrown on 96 Rock, and I've been, I remember my first night on the air, and I was like, "Good God, here we go!" And you're on a radio station for me that you'd grown up listening to,
Right.
And you hit that on button, and that song's going down, and you're like, you're listening to, and you're just like, damn,
Right.
and you got to talk for about a minute and a half, and go into the next song, and not look like a dipshit.
And if you listen to like Sirius and different
Yeah.
music stations, you'll hear the differences of people.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Like I've heard people transition between songs saying just the dumbest things. Just the dumbest things.
Just
And then,
stupid.
Right. And then you hear people telling a story about the song that's coming up. And you're like, oh wow, I never knew that. and then you listen to the song.
Isn't
and
it
you-
great? Some
Yeah.
people you look at, you're like, wow, that was cool.
And yeah, in Athens, like in the college radio, like I can every once in a while someone will come on there and be like, that guy's got a future. Like I can tell he's you
Sure.
know giving you good history and stringing together sentences, not getting nervous. But some people on there,
Yeah, that's the biggest misconception.
Well, you can't stay nervous. You got to get past it. That first radio shift or two, okay, but you better start figuring it out and getting it down. But yeah, I got cheesiest DJ on 88.5, and I was like, because I was trying to get a gig.
Corny.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm cheesy, that'll get me on the air. I'm good.
Can I add to that answer,
Absolutely.
Brett? Coming from the other side of the microphone in sales and looking at marketing and the other side, and then going to doing talk, what I did also learn was that management outside of the PD, management largely does not get what it is that we do.
No, they don't.
They don't really get it
I
at
agree
all.
with that.
But they all think.
They think they do, but they don't. And I'll give you a case in point. On our station, we were there. I was there a year and a half. We had a blowout party up here, and I talked to one of the guys here. I asked him, the first question I asked him, "Hey, did you guys get any leads from that party?" And he said they got several huge leads. Like he said, yeah, 80% didn't pan out, but the leads that they got, they were huge, which means we had people listening to our station with tons and tons of money, own businesses, and they were a quality market. And had it just been sold as a quality market to other people, things might have been differently. But
I agree. You've got a white collar audience listening to what you were doing on 106.7 for sure. Then you've got the blue collar market, and God bless those people. That's where I come from. And then you got
But those blue collar guys, they own their own businesses,
Yeah.
and they had their own money, in maybe in different ways. They might have been a truck driver, still blue collar, but he's got a ton of cash because all his money is his.
Yeah.
Curious. What's your dream job right now? And what was your dream job when you were 22?
My dream job right now is a takeover for Rush Limbaugh 1 to 3 on WSB.
Boom.
That's my dream
You
job.
gotta go there, baby.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Go
That
hot.
is my dream. Be 1 to 3 on WSB as soon as Rush Limbaugh retires. 22, my dream job probably was to be the media director at like Y&R or some big ad agency on Madison Avenue in New York.
There you go.
That's what I was doing. So that was probably my dream job.
Do you remember the morning Brian Kemp came in one time? You guys are buddies, all that stuff. We had him on for about, like an hour one morning. He became the governor. I asked you, do you guys still have the same relationship? This guy on air pulls out his cell phone, puts it on speaker right there when I ask him, do you guys still have the same relationship? Hits Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp answers on the third ring. Yo, Shelley, what's up? It's like, what was it, like 6:45 in the morning?
He was in his car headed to the office.
Just heading to the office.
I gotta be honest with you. That's badass. That's
Well,
badass.
I didn't think it was going to happen like that, but it turned out to be real bad.
No, you know what?
I was like, tell him he's live. Tell him he's live.
and you put it out there. I tried that one time and it backfired on me, but mad respect.
It worked.
Can really
It could have
backfire.
It could have
It could have been
backfired.
really bad.
No, I had John Travolta had called me personally like 3 times, which was huge after I did a 45-minute long interview with him. And it was around the Scientology stuff. I'd been in a car accident and he was trying to get me to go see somebody with Scientology and work through it. And he kind of even talked with me, wrote out some notes I still have because it's John Travolta.
Right.
He actually says, you can call me JT. I'm like, that's cool. And the guy called me from his 707 on the runway at Hartsfield and talked to me for like 15 minutes. And I'm hearing him in the cockpit and I'm hearing the tower talk to him. And I'm like, I'm talking to John Travolta. Well, I thought it was his number. I'd never called him, so I got dared to call him on the air. Turned out it was his handler's number, but he was using his phone.
Right.
So when I called him, I got the handler, and the handler says on air, he goes, "Yeah, I don't represent John anymore." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, this was
man.
this was
So it was
later.
awkward
This
for
is
both of
yeah,
you.
yeah. It went real bad. It went
I'm
real
like,
bad.
do you know who does?"
It's like, fuck that guy.
So my question is, are you still as close to Governor Kemp as you were then? Now that you're not,
no, I wouldn't do
not
that
with us.
again. I wouldn't do that again. But yes, when we all left, we were invited down there. You didn't show up. Randy and I showed up. He invited us down to the Capitol. I went down there with my mom. I recently, reached out to the office because I was looking for work and I knew the jobs that I was that I wanted to get.
And you were qualified for?
Yeah, and I called him up, and I called the office up, but I haven't talked to him because I don't want to misuse the relationship. Meaning, I have people call me all the time. Hey, can you help me out with the? And I'll just tell them, hey, call this guy.
Yeah.
Not that guy. So yeah, I don't. I would say yes to answer your question, but I wouldn't test it now.
No, but if you're back on the radio or something like that, he'll always do you a solid. He's doing his thing, but the thing is, if you run across the guy, it's a handshake. He knows who you are.
Absolutely,
and that's
Absolutely.
and that's
Absolutely.
cool.
Absolutely.
He definitely knows who you are.
Yeah, he definitely does. And as a matter of fact, I mean, it's not even a handshake; it's a hug.
There you go.
The dude is as real as God. He's like you. I mean, he's a real Georgian. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does. And I get a real Georgian,
Yeah.
and I know where he's coming from. And I saw the humor in his advertising, whereas some people were freaking out. I'm like, good God, he's trying to get a reaction, and he's also trying to let me know that, hey, I'm coming from good old boy root.
Absolutely. And you know what's interesting about that ad with you're talking about the boyfriend ad?
Yeah, sure.
The boyfriend ad appeals to every dad that ever had a daughter.
And is that guy really the boyfriend? I don't even know. Or was he an actor?
I think
don't know.
he was. I think he was at the time. But that ad appeals to the African American guy in the West End with his daughter. Everybody. You said the good old. Yeah, everybody. They're all the same. Boy. Every father has a gun that he's got trained on the guy that knocks on the door to date his daughter.
You're damn right.
Euphemistically or realistically.
I was lucky that my father-in-law didn't do that to me. I mean, we're only 4 years apart, me and my father-in-law. So.
We'll discuss that another time without a guest.
You're famous. That's why.
I don't know.
He figures you can get him tickets.
Maybe, and I did get him tickets. I've done some good things for that man.
All right, I only have 2 left. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done for a woman?
Ask her to marry me.
I don't want to say your wife's first name, but I apologize right now.
Honey, will you marry me?
Right.
I love you so much. Let's spend the rest of our life together.
That was the dumbest.
Just you and me, forever.
When you put that in when you say it out loud, doesn't it kind of sounds like the dumbest thing you'd ever do?
I waited.
Let's get the
I waited
government
a long
involved.
time. I waited a long time too.
Did you?
Yeah.
How old were you when you got married? When you asked?
I've been married 49, 48.
All right, 48's when I asked.
Yeah.
All right, damn.
Yeah.
Shelley Wynter and Southside Steve got a lot in common.
Yeah, we're the same dudes. We're party animals.
Yeah, you're white on the inside.
And you're black on
I'm
the
black on the inside.
My man.
That's
boom.
my man. Can we touch it? Get me, Shelley. Come on. Thank you. We're together.
Got some Oreo action there.
No, but seriously.
No, I hear you. I know what you're saying.
Because you were definitely a white man inside.
Yes,
I can
sir.
see it. And I'm definitely black inside. And we're the same age. We both got married and asked at 48. Damn it. The only thing you haven't done that I did that was really crazy is have a kid.
Yeah, this is your first kid, your only kid?
Oh, yeah, my only kid, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Looking to actually even have another one.
So how is it like playing and jumping up and down, all that stuff?
I've been down and I get up slower than maybe some fathers do.
Yeah, like Little League, all that stuff. Are you concerned about that?
Too. Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but it's going to happen.
No, it's going to happen. He's talking about, when my kid is in Little League, I'm going to be in my 60s. And, or not Little League, he'll be, like 3rd, 4th grade. Yeah, I'm in my 60s.
Right.
And it's just like, I think that it gives me a reason to stay fit, gives me a reason to stay young at heart and stay healthy. Yep, so if anything, he's going to keep me alive longer, and the same thing with my wife.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's a concern. You think about it, but then you're like, put that out of your mind.
Right.
You gotta just be there in the moment and let age just truly be a number.
Right. God bless you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I really see this bromance evolving. I think next week it's going to be like, today on the Yeah Come On show, Kim Jong-un's new onesie. Is it yeah or come on with Shelley Wynter and Southside Steve?
Did Hugo Boss design it? Yay or nay?
Oh, don't hate.
No, it's going to be yeah or come on.
You guys seem jealous.
They do.
They're very jealous of our budding relationship.
Thank you. You know what it is? It's hipster hate. Little hipster hate.
Yeah,
okay, I'm the last person you could ever call hipster.
All right, but Tyler Maynard's a hipster.
You don't know me.
Yeah, dude, little Athens, little
God.
tie-dye, pot-smoking little young boy with hair. And then there's Barney, you little cute redneck. You're a good old boy, right? Are you a redneck? That's a good question. Let's ask you a question. You graduated from the University of Alabama.
What's the difference?
I don't think
Is there a
that makes me a
difference?
redneck.
I don't know. I'm asking. Are you a good old boy? I know there's rednecks that are fans of that college.
I don't think I'm a good old boy. I think that that's a title
Why did
that
you go to
kinda
Alabama?
need to-
Why Alabama? You went out of state. You could have gone anywhere. If you're going to pay the out of state fees, why Alabama then rather than Georgia?
Communications program there was stronger than Georgia's at the time.
Ooh, we had
And
that
when I-
chambered, ready to
Yeah,
go.
I could never have
You
gotten.
go to you went to University of Alabama too?
No.
No, I didn't.
Tyler went to Clayton Junior
I went to
College.
FSU for 2 years.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Way to go.
Get out of here.
I couldn't get into Georgia because you needed just ridiculous stuff.
4.3.
Yeah, because the way Georgia breaks down is it's not based on like, hey, you need above this to get in. It's like if you live in this certain area,
It
you need
screws you.
above this. And I grew up in Roswell, which
You're
was
screwed.
a very high rated area. I never could have gotten in, and I was like, it's not worth it. Auburn never appealed to me. Really, the two I looked at, this is going to sound so much better, Ole Miss and Alabama. But then it really just turned to Alabama. My older brother went there. I never thought I was going to go there. I went with him on his college visit. I remember it. We got to the University of Alabama. I was 15. He was 17. My dad goes, hey, we're at the T-shirt shop. The next day, we're about to visit the school. Go pick a hat and pick a T-shirt. I'll buy you guys both one of them. I looked at my dad, and I was like, I'm never going to go to this fucking school. And the next day, we walked around the campus. This is going to sound so stupid. We were walking across the quad, and the girls there, what they do is they have these beautiful, beautiful women. And
Hi, welcome to Alabama.
they wear these red blazers and matching crimson pants and these heels, and they can walk the entire campus backwards. And they train them and do all this stuff. It's really crazy.
Because they're doing a tour.
Yes.
They
And
train
so-
them like dogs.
On-
Yes.
on
No,
your-
they really do.
No,
I had a
on your
friend that did
left
it.
and on your right
It's
and on
pretty
your
nuts.
left.
And all I remember is we were walking across. I was 15, and the woman was right there talking. My dad, my brother, and I were in the front right of the group, the three of us. And there was a girl right behind her, and she was walking across campus. She had a white T-shirt on, blue jeans, and a crimson thong, whale tailing way up the back. And all I was doing was watching that thong bounce up and down. And in
I'm
my
going to
mind, I was
Alabama.
like,
So this
I'm
is
going
your
to
hand- I was
Alabama.
like-
I'm going to Alabama.
That's
forget
how
what
you
the
chose the
question
rest of
was.
your life.
So here's the difference. I went on all the college visits with my older brother. Every college we went to, and he was looking at a lot of different ones. He was looking at going like he almost went to Babson up in Boston.
I got a buddy that's sending
for
his daughter to the University of
college, or for-
Hawaii.
yeah.
That's where I'd go. Hawaii.
And
Definitely.
he was looking at all these different schools. Every school we went to, we sat down. It was my dad, my brother, and I. They pitched to my brother every single school. Blah, 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 blah. We went to Alabama. They pitched to my brother, blah, 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 blah. When the guy got done, he left 10 minutes, turned to me and said, now what do you want to do? I was 15. Absolutely no recruiter from any other school ever looked at me and treated me like I was even in the room. Alabama did different.
All right.
And I was like, this is the school I'm going
What's
to.
the
The guy's
difference-
name was Rick Funk. I still remember. He's probably one of the greatest college recruiters I've ever met in my
What's
life.
the difference between a good old boy and a redneck?
A good old boy is somebody that basically is going to be there for you no matter what. You call him at 2 in the morning, he'll show up and help you out. Like, hey, man, I got a flat tire. All right, I'll be there. Give me 30 minutes. He's going to lend you things. He's always there for you.
Gotcha.
It just
Pretty handy usually, too.
And a handy guy, a guy
Yeah.
that basically will put his time aside to help out a friend, and always in your corner type of guy.
Gotcha.
Redneck is a dude that's just a little intense. He's the angry side of white, and they're more or less narrow-minded views at times. Not completely.
Good old boy holds the door open.
Redneck just kind of walks through. Well, hell, man, she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a couple beers in them and you'll see them. Yeah.
You got 2 hands. Open the damn door, woman. Good hell.
Good old boy.
You think because you got a pair of tits, I got to open the door for you? You know,
Good old boy opens the door for the female.
Let me roll out the red carpet.
Redneck has the big sticker on the back that says this truck's lifted so fat chicks can't get in
yeah,
it.
and like on a,
Just a little ruder. Yeah, that's all,
it's
yeah.
just you know what? It's a little ruder, good old boy, and that's all it is. But though even rednecks have their great moments where
Right.
where they have some southernicity, but all in all, their whole front is stiff arming you. I got pride in who I am. I got donkey or cow nuts hanging from a truck. I
Right.
got the sticker that says I'll piss on you if you ain't from the South. You know, the good old boy's got a truck, and he might have a sticker that says Southernicity or I love the South.
Right,
Something
right.
that's a little softer.
Softer. Gotcha.
Son, grab me some biscuits out of aisle 5, please.
All right, I want to ask my last one. It's my random.
Yeah,
and
we're
then
gonna
wrap it up.
gonna wrap this up.
All right, Shelley, if you could nominate 3 people to be voted as, like, people will vote on them as the intergalactic ambassador, and they would be the first person to meet alien life forms, who would your 3 people be?
So somebody that represents the
world
Earth, to talk to aliens
for the first time.
Because that could happen. People say that we're going to actually see that in 5 years or less.
Yeah,
But you got to pick 3 people.
3 people.
And then the rest of the world will vote out of those 3.
Right. The rest of the world would vote out of those 3. Oh, boy, that's a tough one.
By the rest of the world, I mean America. Not gonna lie.
I would say, you know what? I would send Melania and Obama. Obama and Melania.
Why, you want them to get killed first, like Mars Attacks?
No. No. It's
Yeah,
just
the dove
because
flies
she's kind of fine and she's got a little foreign language. She represents America, though. She's the first lady.
She's got an accent.
Yeah,
She's
and,
hot.
and he's kind of he's kind of mixed and everything like that.
He's a great speaker.
And he's great, and it's easy. The aliens won't
easy
feel
on the
threatened.
eyes.
Yeah, they won't feel threatened. Those 2, and then I would say I'd pick a kid. I'd pick I don't know. I'd pick a kid like maybe the kid in the
Angels in the outfield.
no, the kid the girl that was just in Airbud.
That was a deep cut.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Macaulay Culkin.
He's just sitting out there.
That was the case. It's the Angels. It's the Angels. I loved it though. Good movie.
the kid, I can't remember her name. Monica Rambeau. She was just in a movie.
You should pick Monica Lewinsky.
But I would pick a kid. I would pick
Hey,
a
word for Clinton.
I'd pick a kid, a kid, so the aliens could see that we have kids, we have little people, we have big
Right.
people. You know what I mean? I'd pick a kid.
There you go.
As a third person.
We'd have to see what hot kids around. All right, that's funky. I dig that.
Steve.
Melania and what?
Which 3 people would you pick to be the first 3 to meet aliens?
And they have to be alive now, right? It can't be John Wayne. Damn that! Wish that was John Wayne.
John Wayne started
I know.
intergalactic warfare.
John Wayne. He'd be like, let me tell you, partner. Let me tell you, little big-headed boy.
You talking about Mars attacks?
What's up, big-headed little green boy?
I didn't realize that kid in Angels in the Outfield was Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Yeah. There he is.
That's him, little kid in the outfit.
Danny Glover. Yeah.
Oh,
man,
Danny
that's
Glover.
classic.
Danny Glover.
Angels. I won't play for anyone.
Tony
but
Danza
George
was in it.
Knowles.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
And Danza, we find out later, is going to die. He's got cancer. Nobody
Oh,
knows.
spoiler alert!
Sorry,
Hold
sorry.
on, 30 years later.
I need you with you right now.
You got an angel.
Oh, Brett's gonna go home and watch this tonight. I think now.
God, I'm just
Why
all
not?
teary-eyed. I would have to.
That's a
go-
great movie. I'm gonna go watch it now.
It was. I would bring Clint Eastwood. I think Clint could talk for us. He'd be a good stud, dude. Either him or Robert Redford. I'd like either one of those guys, but probably Clint. Then for a woman, I want her to be terribly hot, and maybe that she can sing.
It doesn't have to be a woman.
No, but you want
want
the
somebody with
aliens
some
to
talent.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want the aliens to see everything we have.
You know what? And I'm not a huge fan, but I'm a fan enough. Let's throw Carrie Underwood in there. So I got Clint Eastwood, Carrie Underwood.
A little chunky though, don't you think?
No, I think Carrie's good.
Still in her roller skates.
Yeah. and then you got to send a rock star and
Kid Rock.
no, David Coverdale. I like his accent. He'd be great with Whitesnake. He'd be like, "Hello, dear. Hello, alien man. How you doing?"
Tyler, would you like to give your 3? I have my 3.
Give your 3, and then I'll have to think.
I like singers. I want the aliens to be
See,
entertained.
right, and to see that because music is a universal language.
So you got a country star, you got a rock star that with some flair, and then you got Clint Eastwood that'll be basically, hey, we don't play,
Right,
we'll
right.
kick your ass.
I think y'all went a completely different route than I did. Granted, I knew this question, so I had this kind of ready. My number 1, I picked Bill Walton because I think he's so trippy that he would.
Who's that?
He's the former basketball player,
Former basketball.
LSD, tripped out announcer now. I would take Bill Walton.
Played for the Celtics and the
And
UCLA.
he's like
Are you-
6'10", so like it's kind of intimidating.
Oh, way to go intimidate the aliens who are probably like 3 foot.
Wait, hang on.
Here's
My number-
7 foot.
My number 2, I took Lil Wayne
Okay.
because they might accept him as one of their own.
Wrong, yeah.
And
yeah, he
then-
definitely looks like an alien.
Number 3, I took The Rock just in case they wanted to start some shit. They'd be like, never mind.
Do you know what? Can I substitute Clint
Don't
Eastwood?
do me. He's going, don't do me.
Yeah, I'm not on camera, and you're calling me out.
Hold on.
I was like, I'm not gonna.
Can I
can't pull it.
substitute Clint Eastwood with The Rock?
Yeah, I think you
No,
want to.
because I already copped
'Cause
The
you,
Rock,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, big,
I like The Rock. The Samoan thing, hot.
You can have Zac Efron, but you can't have The Rock.
But
I
you see,
took The Rock.
The thing is, you took Clint Eastwood because he talks tough. But if the alien's bucked
He's
up,
frail.
Yeah, he's very frail.
Damn it, you're
Yeah,
right. I should
yeah.
have picked The Rock.
He's very frail.
We just learned something about Steve.
Vin
He
Diesel,
likes
you
the
can take-
island guys.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm the only one in this show that surfs.
That's why he always talks about my brown butt.
I like your brown butt.
Not brown.
but you turned me gay. Honey,
Tyler,
When
you
people
want-
ask, "Hey,
can I talk
how
to my
was it
wife?
doing?
I love you.
How was it doing the podcast?" Oh, it was great. Those guys are really funny. A little homophobic, but it's pretty funny.
It borders on homoerotic and homophobic.
right.
Yeah, come on.
Don't do you?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to come up something good off the top of my head.
Just name one person. Just give us one.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Because he's in everything.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most recognizable human.
Right,
He's been on
right.
everything.
By the way,
That's the best answer.
wallet. Go home, motherfucker.
That's the fun. That's the greatest
Wow,
answer.
there's snakes on this alien spaceship. Wow. I like that.
His
What
worst.
you know is what you can prove.
God.
Oh, damn it. That was Denzel.
I'm
God,
about
that
to
was-
say.
Same difference.
Hold on. They're all next.
on,
Yeah,
hold
well,
on.
now I'm the racist here. Yeah.
Do they,
Same difference.
so do all black men sound the same to you?
Yeah, that was a sound. That was a technical glitch. Nothing more. Nothing
And the
more.
funny thing
Don't
about
read
that
into that.
is that it's that Denzel and Sam Jackson have no commonalities, none whatsoever,
None.
And they, you know, they've never been in a movie. No, they have. Glory.
Oh, they were in Glory together.
They were in Glory.
And you know what? And Samuel just let him know who was boss because he was the sergeant.
Yep. It was
I
great.
don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
There we go.
That's Sam Jackson.
Boom, baby. Well, I want to tell you right now, Shelley Wynter, it was an absolute pleasure. We'd like to have you back on the Yeah Come On show
Whatever.
anytime.
I've got nothing to do. I'm out of work. I didn't know you like to get wet.
But we wish you the best. You're a great radio host, and I dig your opinions, man. I was a fan of your work only in the hallway because we were on the air at the same time.
Right. I appreciate
But
that.
I dug you as a coworker, and that's saying a lot because we work with a bunch of odd people.
Very odd.
But you were solid.
Yeah.
I
I
dug
wanted
it.
to ask you guys some questions about how it was still over there, but I guess you
Go
guys-
ahead. I'll give you a second.
Yeah. What how's the atmosphere there with all that's going on? Is it
What would you say, Brett?
First thing I noticed immediately, it's definitely quieter. The entire building's quieter since our entire staff's gone. You were kind of louder. Shannon, Brooks is loud. Kimmer's loud. I mean, you would have to admit that the
I'm probably
building-
the loudest person left.
that?
yeah.
I am. I'm the
it's-
one that walks through and still is loud. But you're right. It's a little quieter.
It's definitely quieter. It's
and there's-
definitely a little darker.
There's a little more blood in the hallways.
And by that I mean like lights turned off in a lot of areas.
Oh no, there's studios that are just dark. That
They're
had
just-
life.
well, I
in
mean,
them.
I've sent you pictures. They're vacant.
Right, yeah.
But we've had some recent firings that are tough, and management has their point of view, and I try not to enter into it. And I'll be honest with you, I play a role where I don't ask questions, and I'm somebody that people gravitate to when they have things to say. But I just stay out of it. I've
Right.
learned being married and having a kid just to not get caught up in it, and I don't. But we've recently lost Cadillac on Kicks. There's still a lot of people. I don't know the whole story. Don't
Right.
know. Not asking. It hasn't leaked yet. I just know he's gone. He hasn't reached out to me yet, even though we had drinks on last Friday and we ate lunch together. He and I and my wife and son. But you know how people are. They don't
Yeah.
talk about it for a minute,
Yep.
and it comes out. Lost my boss. Lost our afternoon talent. We got a great afternoon talent coming back. So there's some change going on in Atlanta radio for us. And people that don't get Atlanta radio, I will tell you right now that Axel, that is coming back, who's been on the air, he's been in Cincinnati as a PD for 5 years, is one of the coolest cats I know. And I'll say it like that. This guy, we were fans of each other when I was at 96 Rock and he was 99X, and he's solid. So that is a plus for us.
For
Rock
Cubans,
100.5, and as far as everything else, it's kind of the same. We lost you guys, and we got an empty studio,
Yeah.
and it is quieter. And I hate it. But your stickers are still up. Nobody's taking down your liberals are what is it? Liberals are pussies or whatever y'all had. Sticker. That's still up.
That's good.
We hit a lot of stuff around.
Y'all put up some stickers that even I wouldn't put on my truck, and I'm like, damn.
That's what happens when you give a station 3 months and everybody's mailing you
Right,
stuff.
right. People
Yeah.
are sending you stuff in the mail to
Yeah.
put up.
I didn't know there was, if you don't like Trump, suck it stickers, but there were, and y'all have them. But yeah, so I wish you the best.
I appreciate
you
that.
know, I would love to see you squeeze even back in our building again. You never know what's gonna happen. But it was a pleasure having you on, dude.
I appreciate you, brother. God bless you.
Just so you know, on camera, that is Shelley Wynter. He is a bona fide air personality. Check him out, follow him, and subscribe to his podcast. As always, I got Brett Barney as my co-host. I got my on-air, off-air Tyler Maynard. I'm Southside Steve, and you've been watching, and we thank you for watching or listening to the Yeah Come On show. Brought to you by Oxygen Financial.